Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power, Episode 3. I came into this very hopeful. And at this point, I'm not sure who they're making the show for. I think that's probably my biggest issue with it right now. I have other issues with it, but so here's the problem. They've spent a lot of money on this, and it looks beautiful. It really does. But they've changed so much from the Tolkien lore that it's a completely separate story from that. So they're not going after the super hardcore Tolkien fans. So it's not for them. And then they haven't really made it approachable, I guess is the best word, for people that don't know anything about the lore of the Lord of the Rings. So I'm not very deep into it. I know a little bit of the lore. Someone that doesn't know anything would be completely lost in this. So you have to at the same time know the backstory and the lore, and then also be watching it not because of that. That's a very small, I would guess almost zero crossover there. If you know all the lore and history, you're watching this to see some of your favorite stuff come to life, and that's not happening. You're getting a completely different story. And if you've never read the backstory of the Lord of the Rings, you don't know what half the stuff's going on is. So I'm really confused at this point on episode 3. We're 3 hours into this, and I'm not sure who their target audience is. Maybe it was an issue of too many chefs in the kitchen. It kind of feels that way. Everyone kind of wanted their piece of the pie, and it's a little all over the place. Again, it looks beautiful. The shots are really nice. And I gave them the first 2 episodes. A lot of setup. I'm okay with that. But now things are just slow. And the characters, as we're getting to know them, a lot of them are not making very smart choices. It's kind of like an old horror movie where you're like, don't go into the room, because it's obvious you shouldn't go into the room. And they go into the room anyway. There's those moments over and over again where the characters' actions don't necessarily make sense. So that's a problem for me. Maybe there's time for them to turn it around, but at this point, I'm not sure where they can go with the story. The setup is just, one, it's drug out way too long. It's spread over way too many different characters. You're not hooked into any of them, even now, 3 episodes in. And it's like, other than seeing the pretty sights, why watch the 4th episode? And while at the same time they're jumping around to all these different characters and all these different scenes, and then they're leaving out really what you would think is important stuff. One of the biggest issues for me in the 3rd episode was the elves getting captured. The one elf we saw get captured, completely understand that. Saw it happen for the most part. But his whole squadron, they're supposed to be overseeing that entire land, specifically on the lookout for, evil doings. Like, I don't know, orcs. So they should be somewhat prepared to deal with orcs if orcs show up. But no, somehow orcs show up and they're just all instantly imprisoned. How'd that happen? Show me something. Did they sneak in and poison them all, or dope them up, or kidnap them some way, or trick them, or defeat them in battle without killing them? Like, show me. Show me something. In this episode, we also got a lot of the not hobbits, which that storyline didn't really move very far given the time that it was given to it. And we didn't get anything with any of the rest of the elves or the dwarves, really, in this episode. So, I don't know. With the time they have left in this season, I don't see them actually being able to get to a point and wrap it up neatly and in a satisfying way. Because I'm just at a loss as for why would I care? Why does the audience care what's going on? You haven't given us any characters to really get behind. It's just, you're still introducing people at this point. It's ridiculous. So far they have really, really pretty footage, and that's about it. Not terribly upset with anything they've done, but then again, I'd almost rather be upset by it, because then there would be some kind of strong emotion tied to it. At this point, I don't have any strong emotion towards any of the characters or the plot line of this show. So in that aspect, so far it's failed. But we will see how it goes, and we'll continue watching it, and hopefully they pull it together somehow. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. But maybe I'm completely wrong. What do you think? Has it been good so far? Are you enjoying it? Do you really hate it? Are you connecting with any of the characters? What characters are you connecting with? If you are, let me know. And put that down in the comments. I want to hear about it, because I'm at a loss. But as always, guys, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and I will see y'all on the next one.